There is a question that quietly follows every burden God places in your heart. Why me? Why this assignment? Why this season? Why now? Most people spend their lives believing they arrived where they are by accident. A job, a city, a relationship, a delay, a closed door, a promotion, a season of waiting. But throughout Scripture, God reveals a different pattern. He positions people long before He reveals His purpose. Esther didn't wake up one morning and decide to become a queen. Joseph didn't choose to be sold into Egypt. Moses didn't plan to spend 40 years in the wilderness. David didn't expect sheep to become his classroom. God was writing a story they couldn't yet understand. Imagine Esther walking through the palace halls. Beautiful, respected, protected. She probably believed she had finally arrived. Until one message changed everything. Her people were about to be destroyed. Suddenly, the palace was no longer a place of comfort. It became a place of responsibility. Then Mordecai sent words that have echoed through generations. And who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Notice what he didn't say. He didn't tell Esther, God has abandoned you. He didn't say, this crisis surprised heaven. Instead, he invited her to see her life from God's perspective. Perhaps you are here because God knew this day was coming. That changes everything. Watchmen begin to think differently. When others see coincidence, they see providence. When others see interruptions, they see preparation. When others complain about delays, watchmen begin asking, what is God preparing me for? Maybe the hardest season of your life wasn't punishment. Maybe it was preparation. Maybe that closed door protected you from walking into the wrong future. Maybe that season of obscurity was where God built the character your calling would one day require. Because God never prepares the assignment after the crisis arrives. He prepares the person before it begins. Joseph was already in Egypt before the famine. Noah was already building before the rain. David was already anointed before Goliath appeared. Esther was already in the palace before Haman revealed his plan. And perhaps, God has already positioned you before the moment you've been praying about even arrives. The question is no longer, why am I here? The better question is, what has God been preparing me for all along? Because the God who orders your steps also orders your seasons. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Not the waiting, not the tears, not the hidden years, not even the disappointments. One day, you may look back and discover that every step was quietly leading you to your such a time as this. The watchman understands something the world often forgets. God never positions people randomly. He positions them purposefully. And when the appointed moment comes, those who have been prepared will recognize it. This is the mind of a watchman.